I had a dream that I was made of glass, that you were made of glass, that we were all made of glass and we lived in a world of mirrors. Not as statues of ourselves exactly, but more like modern art, unorthodox shapes. Some of us were made out of loops or had extrusions, pseudopods of clear crystal glass, or sharp spikes sticking out in invisible material. These statues are both our souls and our prisons. And the problem is we look out from the middle of these things at the world. And just like funhouse mirrors, you can't look through warped glass and see things truly. This puts us in a weird position of not knowing who we are. And I know this isn't just me. I didn't spend all of my teens and 20s wondering who I was by myself. I know this is something that hits everybody, that we all lay awake at night going, why the fuck did we say that? Why did we do that thing? Why did we like that person? Why didn't we do this thing? Why didn't I speak up? Or for good things too, like I didn't know I had that in me. I didn't realize I could do that. I do some good things sometimes. I had a dream. We were all made of glass, but the only way that I could see the shape of my own soul was by looking for the reflections of it moving on your soul, on your twisted pane of glass. So not only can I not know myself directly, but I can't know myself except through you reflected back, myself reflected back on you. And that brings us to art. To you here, I'm the MC. And sometimes I sing, so maybe some of you think of me as a singer. Sometimes I do poetry, so maybe some of you think of me as a poet. Other times you see me dancing to somebody else's song and think, that guy's a dancer. And I'm all those things, and I am more than those things, and I am not the best of those things. But each of those things I have attached to and made mine because of the shape of my soul, because of who I am. And in the exact same way, the things you do that you have latched onto, the Chinese songs that Frank makes his own and sings out, the fact that he chose this is a reflection of himself. When Nick writes a song, it comes from inside him, and we see a piece of Nick coming out. When Nick asked me, what do you think of this song? Or when him and Torres were here, they would ask me for critique, and I hate giving critique. Not that I don't have opinions, but for those of you who knew Neil Gaiman, the author, the wonderful author, Neil Gaiman said, if somebody says they don't like something you've written, believe them. If they tell you why they don't like it, stop listening. It's one thing to give feedback and say, in general terms, this appeals to the soul in me, or it doesn't. It's another thing to be specific, because the act of making it specific steals it from that person and makes it yours, the critiquers. When Nick wrote the song about Ranger Nancy, I was inspired to write my own song. And Nick, frankly, wasn't impressed with it because it wasn't his song anymore. He had written a song that reflected him outside, coming out from him to the world. And I took a little piece of that, put it into myself, and created something brand new. They may have vague similarities, but that's it. It's no longer a true reflection of yourself if it comes through somebody else. The only thing they can do is give you a more general feedback of how they felt about it. If they do anything more than a general feeling, then they're taking it from themselves and rebranding it. I had a dream that we were made of glass, that I was made of glass, that you were made of glass, that we were all made of glass. And we all desperately longed to know what we look like. And so a part of my soul said, we should have a place where we could share these things together. And I offered to take up this open mic and run it. And I invited you to this open mic. And you came and you shared of yourselves. And as you shared of yourselves, I learned about me and you and each other. And we are progressing ourselves. We are becoming more us with every one of these things that we go to. With me, with anybody else, when you're on the street, anytime that you reflect a little bit of yourself out into the world, you learn a little bit more about yourself. There is a reason that this open mic is run this way. I don't chase people off stage, not even if they're really drunk, I do. But not if they're just a little drunk, not if they're bad, not if they're not funny, not if they're not deep, not if their music is grating on the ears, because the point of this open mic is not to be the next contestant on America's Got Talent or The Voice. It would be wonderful if you do. I would cheer for you all the way and then promptly sell every single sign-up sheet that had your name on it for $1 million on eBay. But that's not the point of this open mic. The point of this open mic is for you to learn, for me to learn about you, for you to learn about yourself reflected in what you know about me. Because I had a dream that we were all made of glass. I was made of glass. You were made of glass. We were all made of glass, and we all desperately wanted to know what the shape of our souls were. And that's a much better goal than simply being great at something. Thank you for being here with me on this open mic to see what our shapes are.